Hello and welcome to the Menopause Mindshift Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Lisa R. Triggs, Menopause Queen, self-love advocate, best-selling author, and speaker. Today, I want to talk about journaling, or as I like to refer it, writing. I have 8, I call them core elements, but 8 practices, 8 techniques, 8 rituals, if you will, that I do and have done and have helped me come back from a very dark place, a place where I was unhappy. My world was unhappy and I wallowed, and it was not a good time whatsoever. So, one of the things that I did was journal, but I'm going to call it write because journaling can mean different things for different people. Some people write just their thoughts, feelings. Others write it more like a diary, the day's events. The way I do it is I write affirmations to myself. I write down things I am grateful for. I write down future goals I would like to have, who I would like to be, who I would like to be with, who I would like to be surrounded by, and what I want out of life. So there's a number of ways to say that as well, and different people have their style. I have been taught, so to speak, one way to start it off is you can be so happy and grateful, but you can also be very grateful. One trick, one trick, if you will, is to write about things as if they already happened, like in the past. I am so happy and grateful that I have $1 million in the bank. I try and picture these things as I'm writing them, or whenever I write uh, things down each day, whenever I'm done writing a passage for the day, I typically read it back, and I try to read it back with purpose and with feeling, because just the act of writing it, yes, it processes through your brain, through your hand, so you are repeating it a few times, but it's better to repeat it again and say it with intent afterwards. That way, it's not just words on a page. If you put meaning behind the words and feeling behind the words, you have a much better result. So I have here, I have written journals for many years and at different levels. I'm now at a different level than I was a couple years ago when I first started my journey, and different from 5 years before that and 5 years before that. And like I said, writing can be different things to different people. I have even written down lyrics. I was a bit of a poet, writing down those things. It's always what's on my mind, what's in my heart, what I aspire for, what do I want to accomplish. What I have accomplished, I was broken and looking for love. All I wanted was to build a life and a home that was safe. I thought you were the one. We talked about a life. I think I was doing some poetry here, but that was something obviously I needed to get out of my brain and off my chest. And I have said it before, and I will always say it again, that writing is a de-stress tool. So specifically for women in menopause, being able to write stuff down, get it off your brain, get it off your chest, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, a hope or aspiration, or gratitude for something you've already done. It does beautiful things to the mind, the brain, the body, and the life. So one of the things during menopause that I really struggled with was depression. I talk about that a lot. I was in a very depressed state for 5, 6 years. And writing these things down, affirming myself, it's a process through the brain. I've learned recently that the subconscious brain actually remembers things and does things more than the awake brain. So, writing things down, processing it can actually be better to do right before you go to bed or to listen to a recording of affirmations or positive quotes as you're going to sleep. So your brain processes that as you're sleeping. However, I am a firm believer in starting the day off on a great note, not only choosing to when you wake up and get out of bed and say, this is going to be a fantastic day to yourself and make it a fantastic day. But I also want to affirm and remind myself of who I am, what I want to be, and who I want to be around and so forth. And during menopause, during the time for me, since it was a struggle, I was struggling with my self confidence, my mental health. I was not always kind. So during menopause, a lot of things happen and we aren't always kind to ourselves. So here's an example of something that I wrote that actually says, and I repeated it, I am kind to myself. I am kind to myself. I am kind to myself. How can I love myself more? I can love myself more by being true to who I am and my goals. I can love myself more by loving others in the way that I want to be loved. Wow, that's deep. I could go on, but I think you get the picture. Those are some examples of things that I have written to myself. I am so happy and grateful for the sleep that I had last night, the sound sleep. I say that one. Or I did say that one because it is so much better now. I sleep really great now, even when I wake up to have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I can generally get back to sleep really quickly, whereas I could not before. I would be up. I had insomnia when I went to sleep. I couldn't fall asleep. I started writing. I am so happy and grateful for the sound sleep I had last night. I am so happy and grateful that I slept all night long without waking. The trick is to say your words in a specific way so that it has the positive effect. If I said I was grateful for not having hot flashes, I know it sounds like it would be a positive thing, but having that word not in there does not make it a positive thing. It will actually have the opposite effect. So, universe, don't listen to me right now. I'm going to correct that and listen to me now. I am so, so very grateful for the sound sleep I have each and every night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, since writing is one of the key things that I do daily and I love doing, I make sure that I take time to do this for myself. Generally in the morning, but if I can't do it right away, I do it as soon as I can because it's important to me. It's important to me to begin my day putting my thoughts on paper and getting ready for the day. One of the things that I did was create something that wasn't. I wanted something different. I wanted a journal that had things for women in menopause specifically. A lot of journals I have are just line pages inside. That's boring. I mean, uh, sure, it's helpful. You have all that extra space to be able to write your thoughts down. There are also other journals that I have beautiful covers, um, that are a self-love journal, for example. It's just line pages inside again for me to fill. So I got to thinking when I was writing uh, How I Unleashed My Queen and You Can Too. I began every chapter with a positive affirmation or quote that is specifically for women in menopause. Like, I am having the best menopause journey. I love my body today. I am beautiful in every way. I wanted those type of things in my journal as well. I wanted to not only write those things, but read those things as well. And there wasn't something out there that was specifically for women in menopause. So this is the Unleash Your Queen Self Love Journal. Now, this one is the big version. that was another thing. Journals are always small. Maybe that's to go back to diaries. You know how you had the diary with the little clip and it would, you know, or magnet and it would be on there. Diaries were like a certain size. So maybe that's where the size of a journal comes from. And I thought, especially for women in menopause, I wanted I wanted something bigger. I didn't want to have only, 40 pages or something like that. So I created this one. It's 7 by 10 and also uh it's full color inside. And I also did a travel version because I thought to myself, what am I going to do when I travel? So I made a small travel version and I bring it when I travel. So what I've done is on the left side of the page, at the top of the page is the line I am grateful for. So that is a prompt, which I love. I love prompts because some days you want to be original. You don't want to the same things over and over again. Then that means that thing has not come to fruition. So that means either the energy is not there or that's not meant for you or it's not meant for you right now. So those are 3 different things, right? That's why it's important after I write something down, when I'm done writing for the day, before I close the book, I reread everything and I make sure that I reread it to myself in a specific way with enthusiasm, with emphasis, because that will raise my vibration up and I am then in a state of receiving. And I am very grateful for that. So on the left is the prompt I am grateful for. So 3 to 5, 10 things that you're grateful for. And then on the right is a quote specifically for women in menopause. This page I happen to open to says, I am a warrior navigating menopause with grace and determination. I rule this chapter with dignity and courage. On the right hand side, this prompt is, I am a woman who. I am a woman who sets boundaries. 3 things I love about my body. Menopause is a beautiful journey that I embrace. I am a queen, bold, fearless, and unapologetically powerful. 3 things I love about myself. Anyway, I could go on, but those are the things that are in this journal. And the reason I am plugging it today, I guess, is because for me anyway, those were important things. Those were important things to remember. And I say it time and time again that we women in menopause really have to remember to love ourselves first, to not get caught up in what's going on outside, all the noise, all the stress, all the everything outside, other people, relationships. Concentrate on what's going on in here, as in your heart, in here, right? And I'll say in here again because I mean the heart, but also in here as the soul. So the body, mind, and spirit. When this all comes together, life is great. Life is beautiful. So starting each day with love for myself by doing this makes for a wonderful, great day ahead. And then grateful for that day I had behind me. Another reason to write is I probably said it earlier, but it's a huge de stressor. Getting these things off of your mind, things that might be bugging you, which I do. I do that as well. I don't always, let me be clear, I don't always write down things that are hunky dory. The few samples that I happen to read those sections or those excerpts, but I have also written down tough things to get it off my chest. And sometimes I put it in a way that I'm so happy and grateful, or I'm just so very grateful that My life is on a good path. I am so very grateful for the love I have in my life. So, what I've done there is switched what negative things are going on in my life. I've reworded it in a positive way so that the universe responds to that. Now, I have also just written and got things off my chest as far as so and so, whatever, whatever it might be, and just say, this situation has really sucked. This what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Get it all off my chest. Why, whatever it is. And then when I'm done that, I write, I have now released this, or I now release this from my life. And a lot of times I tear those pages out or scribble it out or tear them out and then burn it, tear them out, rip it up, get rid of it because it's off my mind. It's onto paper. I've released it there and now I'm getting rid of it. So, one other thing too is I do have some of my journals here that I have previous journals that I have kept, but I have also gotten rid of a lot. I was on a call with someone a couple months ago who was journaling and he kept them all. He said he had, couple bookshelves with his journals on it. And I said, "Why? Why are you keeping those? Is there any particular reason? If it's all great things in your journal, if it's all positive things, absolutely." But I asked, is there anything in there that you needed to release, that you needed to get rid of? And he's like, "Yeah. Yeah, I wrote all kinds of stuff down." And I said, "Well, why not get rid of it then? Release it totally from your life. Don't hang on to it. Don't hang on to it so you can go back and reread it and then bring up old feelings or something like that about that situation, right?" And I'm not saying to only keep the positive stuff, but yeah. But realistically, you will have both things that you would like to improve in your life, as well as things you are grateful for and working towards in your life written in these books. But one clear way to for sure to get it is to get rid of those books. And yeah, there's some great stuff in there that you might be getting rid of in those books too, or just get rid of those pages instead of the whole book. I guess if you're going to tear out, scribble out, or release, burn, tear up those pages anyway, they will be released from your life. But he was grateful. The guy I was talking to, a friend of mine, at that time, he's like, "Huh, I never thought about that." Uh, and and then I believe he did. He worked on getting rid of some of that and shedding that. Sometimes even if there are good, positive, amazing things in your journals, you also evolve and change. So your journals are going to depict that as well. And there are some things that you, even though they might be good, that you don't necessarily need to go back and revisit because you are not the same person as you were then. And again, that goes back to, why bring up other resurface other memories, even if they are good, because if you're at a different place, then you're at a different place. You you might read it and go, "Oh, okay, cool, I remember that." But wow, look at where I am now. So you know what? I don't need to be reminded of that anymore because I'm at this fantastic place right now. And I'm going to a more fantastic place in the future. So that's my take on journaling or writing, as I call it. It's one of the key things that helped me transform my life. I know everybody talks about gratitude, but it really is true. Everyone can find, I'm sure, at least one, two, or three things that they are grateful for in their life. Particularly during menopause, women, stop and think about it. Even in my despair, I always found things to be grateful for. And again, it goes back to the way you word it. I can be grateful for the things I want to happen now, as if they happen now, So I'm going through menopause, or when I was going through menopause, in my deep despair, I wrote down, "I'm so happy and grateful that I am free of stress." These are all things that are happening, or that did happen in my life. I was stressed to the max. There was a time when I thought that I was literally going crazy. I was with a therapist and even ended up in the hospital. So I have been there. I have been there, and I have brought myself back by taking things to the next level, incorporating these, because not only did I start to affirm myself, but I started to affirm myself specifically about my menopause symptoms. And I've said it before, and I will say it again right now. Everything I talk about is always related to improving your menopause symptoms. The self-love, moving your body, writing, this is all that improves your menopause symptoms. And then when you're improving your menopause symptoms, it leads to your life in general. Symptoms and life can go hand in hand, but it's always a focus on symptoms. Writing for me has been one of the key factors in getting my life back. I came back from a very miserable place, and being able to write these things down was a huge, to get things off of my chest, released a lot of stress, and which really helped my mental state, my physical state, and my emotional state. So I highly recommend it. If you don't write, and you don't have to write for oodles and oodles an hour or anything like that. Some days I write for 10 minutes. I let it, for me personally, I let it flow if I write for only 10 minutes, and that's all I have that comes out of me that day. That's it. Some days, if it's 15, it may be a half an hour and I'm still going, with things I am grateful for, things I want to achieve, the power that I have. I don't forget, you can be grateful for all these things, but also affirm yourself, remind yourself, write it down. I am a powerful woman. I am an amazing woman. Menopause is just a phase. I hope there's been some tips here, something that you have found valuable in today's podcast. I thank you so much for joining me. Again, I am your host, Lisa R. Triggs, and please remember to practice self love first. Thank you. Bye.